We are back once again on the Cheap Heat Productions podcast network with a special presentation we like to call Frozen Fight Night Fight Forecast, the latest super card for Finger Lakes Extreme Wrestling. Myself and, of course, broadcast colleague DJ Immortal Brandon Brown will be running down the entire card that is happening on Saturday from the Mud Creek Bison Ranch. And fans, if you don't have your tickets already, I'm going to start this off hot. Go to flexwrestling.com. Get those tickets now because the seating is, the front row is gone, the seating is limited, and there's only a few of those left. And you don't want to miss out. And you'll see that once we go through the action because honestly, it is a loaded show as you would expect from Flex Wrestling. But before we bring on our very special guest, Mr. Brandon Brown, how are you, DJ Immortal? I know you're a busy man and you're tearing up the academic scene there in Ottawa.
I'm doing pretty good. Just got done working at my internship. This is my last week. I'm currently positioned at Rebel Rock 1017 FM here in Ottawa. Just got home from a long, grueling day. They had me writing commercials, voicing commercials. I mean, they were just throwing at me left, right, and center. But it's good to be here. I might love radio, but the one thing I love even more is some wrestling, and it's always good to be here alongside you there, Jack.
Well, I got to put you over for all you do, starting with that former company, and now in the future. And the future is Finger Lakes Extreme Wrestling. And I know I don't have to tell you this because you're a very respectful individual, but we have the honor of having the first and current ever Flex Heavyweight Champion, the Hybrid Sean Carr, on the show. Hybrid, how are you doing today, sir?
Just 1 second, guys. I'm doing good, but I got to be better with something. You know, every time you're the champ, you just got to rock the title all the time. So we're going to do this podcast with the championship in hand.
I like it. I like it a lot. I guess first and foremost, I got to get your feelings or your impression on the massive success that Flex is experiencing thus far. You've got the company on your back holding the title. 2026 is shaping up to be a huge year for the company. How are you feeling about this massive success the company is experiencing?
Well, you know, I mean, when you have the players that you have in Flex Wrestling, you have the creative minds in Flex Wrestling, and you have, you know, the one thing I'll give HC Low credit is he says all the time, it takes a village. It's not just one person. It's not just a handful of people. It's an entire team that comes together. And, you know, everybody from, doesn't matter if they're a wrestler, production, ring crew, even just the people that are running the venue, they want to see Flex Wrestling succeed, and everyone feels that Flex Wrestling is going to be the next big thing, and not only the Northeast, but independent pro wrestling as a whole. And to be the one that's kind of leading that charge, I mean, come on, who better, right? Who better? Not Chael, I'll tell you that. Sean Carr.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I've said, you know, on this show and other shows that your performance in the beginning against Rhino was outstanding. And I hate to be bringing up bad memories, so to speak, but I feel that you were robbed in that match against the ECW original Rhino. And I gotta get your impressions on how you felt when Mr. Connors intervened and interjected himself in that match in such an uncalled for manner.
Well, you know, I mean, Chael, you know, he wants to be the hometown hero. He wants to be the good guy, the kissing babies and all that. That's fine. You know what that doesn't do? That doesn't win championships. And I found that out the hard way because for years I was the guy that would shake the hands, kiss the babies, and make sure everybody liked me. And you know what it got me? Nowhere. Now all of a sudden I'm in it for me, and championship gold has just been raining down from the sky. So Chael wanted to stick his nose where it didn't belong. And then sweet old karma came back to bite him because the very next Flex Wrestling show, who walked away heavyweight champion? Because it wasn't Chael. It was Sean Carr.
Absolutely. And it's germane that you mentioned that. I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot. I called it that you were going to walk away from that match as the champion. You did. But some have tried to throw a little shade on that victory. And I want to know, how do you respond to critics that are of the opinion you went too far when you knocked Connors off the top rope into that table down below? I saw it. I know DJ Immortal saw it, captured it all on video. Really an impressive move. You did what you had to do. But from where I sit, what goes around comes around. Is that not correct?
That is correct. And listen, here's the thing, right? Chael happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Sean Carr was always at the right place at the right time. So listen, things happen in pro wrestling. It's not ballet. When things happen, tables are ringside. You climb to the top rope. That's why they call it the high stakes, the red light district, because of the fact that just because you go up there doesn't mean when you come back down it's going to be successful. And it does not mean that I'm not going to take advantage of an opportunity. And that's exactly what I did, and it helped me win the Flex Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's hard to argue. Like you said, it's not ballet, and if you're not cut out for it, don't take those high-risk maneuvers. But speaking of high-risk maneuvers and matches, you've got a ladder match coming up on Saturday against Mr. Connors. You've been in ladder matches before, I know, but this is a really high-stake match, considering it'll be your first title defense. Without giving away your strategy per se, how do you plan to deal? I don't want to take anything away from Mr. Connors. He's an incredibly athletic, high-flying, talented individual, a worthy opponent. But how are you going to deal with that in this match on Saturday, the main event of Frozen Fight Night?
Well, I think the perfect way to answer that is I've been doing ladder matches since Chael Connors was probably in elementary school. So experience is going to come into play. This ain't my first rodeo, and I know Chael's done ladder matches too, and that's great. But the thing is I'm not afraid to get hardcore. I'm not afraid to fall off the ladder. It's happened before. I'm sure it'll happen again. The difference is experience, and the difference is while Chael is trying to hit all of his flashy moves and be the cool hero, my game plan is I'm going to take him down to the ground, and I'm going to beat him and keep beating him down until he can't answer, and he has to watch me climb and pull down this Flex Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. That's my plan. But you never know. Sometimes, a guy like me always has an ace up his sleeve. So we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Excellent. I know that the fans are very much looking forward to that main event. We've been running a poll amongst some of the talent that are booked to be on the show on Saturday, and it seems to be pretty split down the middle as to who's going to walk away victorious in the end, but the fans will for sure. I know you're a really busy individual. You've got a lot going on, so we don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're in training for Saturday and many other endeavors, but after you emerge victorious this weekend, with so much talent banging on the proverbial door to get into Flex Wrestling, what will be your focus to ensure you stay on the top of the mountain, so to speak? There's a number of events upcoming. Ithaca and Troy, Pennsylvania have been announced, so you're right in the middle of all that. How are you going to stay the man in Flex Wrestling?
Well, it's just like anything else. You take one match at a time. You take one opponent at a time. And, after I very successfully defend this championship on Saturday, hopefully Chael gets knocked down a little bit to the bottom of the card, then whoever's next. I don't care if you're a seasoned veteran. I don't care if you're one of the students in Flex Wrestling Academy. I will put this title on the line and let the best man come and get it, or at least try to.
Well, it will be a significant challenge. I know that a lot of folks are predicting, fans are predicting an upset, but it will definitely be the match or one of the many matches. But the primary main event, the match to watch on the show. And I'd like to wish you, not that you need luck, but all the best on Saturday. And thanks for your time today.
And Jack, is it cool if I ask him a question as well?
You always know how to call him, so absolutely. Let's hear it.
So one question I do have for you, because we just talked and broke down that entire match going on this Saturday, and we know your opponent is watching this. You know he's shaking in his boots. You know he's scared of heights. You know when he climbs that ladder, he's going to shit himself. So with that being said, we got the man, we got the champ, we got the first and the last Flex Wrestling champion right here live on the feed. So with that being said, do you have anything you want to say to your opponent going into the match this coming Saturday?
Oh, Mr. Chael Connors, you see, I've been watching Chael ever since he started wrestling training, and I've seen his rise. Chael, I've seen you come from a student to an open match guy, and I've watched you work your way up the card. And that's great. Everyone has been there. But understand this. There has been a reason why Sean Carr, no matter where he goes, is always on top. And this Saturday, just like you found out the last Flex Wrestling show, this Saturday, I'm going to put a stamp on why I am the guy at Flex, and you'll never, ever come close to this championship.
No more needs to be said. Hybrid, again, thank you so much for coming on today, and we will see you on Saturday with another victory, another hand raised in battle. But again, what a match. The fans are really going to get their money's worth out of that one. But until Saturday, take care.
You too, guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Take care. Well, that was a good question. I was actually going to ask if you wanted to ask him anything, but he seems very, very confident, as the champ should. Do you how do you think this match is going to go? Obviously, we're on Team Carr, but again, Chael Connors is he's no joke. He's impressed me with his athleticism, and I think if he's able to pull off some of those high-risk maneuvers, he could theoretically come away with a win. But again, as you captured at Headbangers Ball, it was a hard crash coming down.
Just as for that match alone, as we already know, it's a ladder match, so it's definitely going to be, high momentum. It's going to be a stamina burner for sure. But we have two really tough competitors going head-to-head, one-on-one. First person to grab the belt wins, but I really have to say, I think Carr's going to come out with the victory. I mean, he already has momentum from Headbangers Ball. He has everybody up behind him there at Flex. I mean, Chael, don't get me wrong, phenomenal, talented individual, but I just don't think he quite has it yet. I think Carr is going to be climbing up that ladder, and he's going to be taking that title back home with him, and he's going to be bringing it into Troy, Pennsylvania.
Not to mention Ithaca. Good call, though. I'll plug those two shows right now. First stop after Frozen Fight Night is the Hangar Theater in Ithaca, New York on March 21st, headlined by Carlito, WWE alumnus, Sonny Kiss, so many other talents. Tickets are really going fast on the floor for those. So while you're getting tickets for Frozen Fight Night, if you don't have them already at flexwrestling.com, grab those. And then just announced this week, the night the state line was crossed in Troy, Pennsylvania at the Troy Sale Barn, Flex Wrestling will be there on May 22nd, featuring, as you can see, not only the hybrid on the poster, but also ECW originals. And both of these events are the next stop on the Kingpin Angel Medina's last great run of 2026. He's got I guess he's got a bit of a mission, because his good friend and ECW brother HC Loke is looking for a little backup, or he's offered his services to be a little backup given what Indigenous Pat Sawyer did to him at the Headbangers Ball. We'll discuss that, of course, a little later, but these events are going to be outstanding. Flex Wrestling always gives you your money's worth, and you don't have to spend $16,000 for a ticket, which is great. And you're going to be there as well, DJ Immortal, capturing all the action. We really appreciate the work that you do there. Are you excited for what 2026 holds for Flex?
I would say excited to say the least, man. I mean, I'm seeing these dates. I'm seeing the people that are going to be there. I'm seeing the matches that are getting announced. I mean, just being able to be a part of, Kingpin Angel Medina's, retirement run. It sucks even saying that, but I mean, all good things must come to an end. And he had such an amazing, luxurious career. Like, I grew up just as a fan, watching ECW and watching the Baldies and watching Angel kick New Jack's ass. That's right. If you don't know about that, it's on YouTube. Check it out. But I seen that live on TNN back in the day. But I just got to say, shout out to Angel. It's really cool being able to be a part of this, and it's really cool and an honor to be a part of Flex Wrestling. But as for the excitement, it's going to be one hell of a phenomenal year. And remember, the last one that got announced was in May, and they're already crossing the state lines about like 4 or 5 shows in. So just imagine what they're going to wrap up 2026 with. That's all that I can imagine.
Yeah, and good point. The momentum is seriously with Finger Lakes Extreme Wrestling. I'm going to tease a little announcement here for March 21st, 2026. In addition to the Kingpin being on the card, there's a little group that still exists known as the Big Money Players. We've talked about it before in the past. They are a group that is managed by myself. We have some alumni members, and I'm going to bring into Flex Wrestling a close personal friend, a man who is going to be the next big money player, and he is a wrestler, a worker amongst workers, a technician, and without saying any more, he's godlike, if you will. That will be announced in the weeks to come, so I'm going to have to leave it at that, but I'm very excited about this development, and I know, DJ, you know who I'm talking about, but let's get to Saturday. We are so close. It's hard to believe. Been talking about it so long, but in addition to the main event that we just talked about, let's run down the rest of the card, starting with a man who faced the Kingpin at Headbangers Ball, gave him everything that he could handle, a talent that I am seriously impressed with, Justified JP Grayson against another young lion in the business working at Flex Wrestling, Adon Allen. I interviewed him for the first show in this series. Man, that is going to be a real test for JP Grayson. What are your thoughts on JP? And you might remember Adon from the Headbangers Ball as well.
Well, first and foremost, I do remember both of them. JP is a phenomenal talent, phenomenal high flyer, phenomenal physique, phenomenal energy. I have to say, in my opinion, I think he's going to take the dub. I know I might sound biased because I was smack dab right there, right in front of the ropes watching this match go down. But when you're in the crowd as a fan watching versus being there capturing this essence through your camera and being able to be like literally this far from the ring apron, you see some stuff that the fans behind the barricade might not be able to get an opportunity to see. And I will say JP is one hell of a phenomenal talent. So I really think that he's going to put up one hell of a great fight, and I really think he's going to get the 1, 2, 3 come this Saturday.
Well, that remains to be seen. He's certainly versatile as he went toe-to-toe with the Kingpin, who has a vastly different style than Mr. Allen. But again, it's going to be one to watch. Next is an interesting one. We have the very, very accomplished and quite dangerous Maddock he has been booked to take on an individual who's making his debut in Flex Wrestling, Marcos, who was one half of the Ring Crew Express of Dunn and Marcos, who achieved some fame in Ring of Honor, later Shikara and Combat Zone Wrestling, a very accomplished talent in his own right. Are you familiar with the Ring Crew Express and Mr. Marcos?
I have definitely heard of him before. I mean, it's early Ring of Honor days, but honestly, those early Ring of Honor days are some of the best of Ring of Honor. I mean, I don't know if you really want to consider what Tony Khan's doing. I'm glad he's kind of trying to keep the essence of Ring of Honor alive, I should say. I will say it definitely does not feel like Ring of Honor, but I commend him for doing what he's doing. But those early days of Ring of Honor are the absolute best. But I will say as well, his opponent, if we all go back to the main event, the Eliminator match, the one that Sean Carr took the dub from, him and his manager are the reason why that, Carr's opponent he's going to be going into this Saturday with went through the table. If it wasn't for, his manager's, distraction, that table spot might not have happened. So, she is going to be in his corner, but you also have a Ring of Honor legend as well. So, I mean, that one is kind of is going to be a hit and miss. You don't really know who's going to take that one because you got one that is going to play dirty, but you also got a veteran with a lot of experience, going into the matches, a lot of experience as being in multiple different promotions, including Ring of Honor. So I really don't know. I really don't know who's going to win that one, but I'm going to lean towards the Ring of Honor legend.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a clash of styles, so to speak, but the other intangible element, Matic likes to get dirty and likes to get hardcore. Marcos has been in Combat Zone Wrestling, and I'm sure you're aware of Combat Zone and how that was almost the next or the inheriting promotion of ECW. So that will be definitely one to watch as all. Next is Price Pure Gold, a man who I have nothing but positive things to say in terms of his in-ring work, a very wily individual against Julio Diamante. I know you've seen both of these men in action live. Julio Diamante is just another incredibly athletic individual. This is going to be a real potential show stealer in singles action. What are your thoughts on both these men?
I think both of them are phenomenal individuals. Like you said, Jack, I had the opportunity to see them both wrestle just a few months back there in Ithaca, and Savona, New York. My apologies. But honestly, two of those people are such amazing wrestlers. But Price is probably one of my favorites going into this match. I've seen what he did the last time we went, and he was such a phenomenal talent. He had the crowd going absolutely crazy. I remember there was he had the ladies going crazy. I'm telling you, he was like the Godfather without the whole gimmick. He had ladies just going crazy. I was like, damn, man, I'm in the wrong business. I need to drop this. I need to drop this camera and go to the gym and see what I'm going to do here. But either way, I got to say, definitely Price. He has a crowd on his side, and he also has one hell of a phenomenal in-ring persona as well. So I'm going to go with Price.
Mm-hmm. Can't disagree with you there. And another debuting talent, and this guy, you throw the term monster around. This guy definitely is a monster. His name is Ox Adams. He's known as the Texarkana Terror, and you know why? He's 7 feet tall and 350 plus pounds. There he is. That's almost a scale shot outside the Mud Creek Bison Ranch. His opponent is to be determined, but man, if I was on the roster, it almost reminds me of one of those old situations with the Road Warriors and whoever gets penciled in to face them. I'd be a little trepidatious given this man's sheer size and power. What are your thoughts on a true giant coming in to Flex Wrestling?
Well, looking at that photo, I automatically feel like I got to go take a piss. So I will say I am just super glad that I'm not the one that has to be in the ring. And whoever does get penciled in on the card to face him, good luck, say your prayers, and eat your vitamins. I'm not trying to pull a Hulk Hogan promo, but seriously, you're going to need some prayers and some vitamins and, maybe an ambulance on standby, I should say, as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very interested to see his work because I think he might fit very well into the big money players. We'll have to scout him, so to speak. And I'm expecting big things, no pun intended. Now, the next match is one that there's a lot of personal animosity involved. It's really a chance for the legend HC Loke, ECW original ROH World Tag Team Champion, to get his get a receipt to Mr. Indigenous Pat Sawyer, another huge man who cost HC Loke the title in December by hitting him with a chair shot out of nowhere. I know you were at ringside when that happened as well. Give me your thoughts on this one. Were you as shocked as the fans in the Mud Creek Bison Ranch were to see that go down?
Honestly, I wasn't that shocked, and I'll tell you why, Jack. The reason why is because going into a match like that, when there's absolutely no disqualifications, no countouts, anything goes, you're going to do anything you possibly can to incapacitate your opponent and get the win. At the end of the day, it was a fatal four-way eliminator match. You take out Loke, it goes from a fatal four-way down to a triple threat. You definitely knew something was going to happen. You just didn't know when, and you didn't know where in the match, but you knew it was going to happen. So I will say I wasn't surprised, but it was a vicious chair shot. I really think that he does deserve a receipt for that, because you can deliver someone a chair shot, incapacitate them for at least a 3 count, but he did more than that. He viciously attacked HC Loke, and I think that was going a little too far. So hopefully Loke brings out his inner ECW original and really gives them one good solid receipt, or I should say plural receipts, because he's not just going to hit him once. He's going to hit him over and over again. And Loke is going to show him why the veterans always win, especially when you mess with an ECW legend. I'm telling you, this guy's wrestled people like New Jack and all these legendary people that literally are some crazy sons of bitches. So you kind of mess with the wrong guy, man. So rest in peace, because you're gonna get messed up.
Well, it'll be a question of whether Loke can overcome the sheer size and strength. And man, he moves. Mr. Sawyer moves very well for a very big man. So that will be definitely a battle, a war, if you will. Next is a staple of Flex Wrestling, and it's the Scramble match featuring 7 participants, and the stakes are extra loaded for this one, and I'll explain in a minute. But we've got Ash Bennett, Tyler Reed, a youngster that I interviewed for the Fast Forward to Flex Frozen Fight Night series. Very impressive young man. Grizzly Olsen, another big man that I interviewed for this series. Retro Zeke Rogers, same with him. He might be the wild card in this. He is a very wily individual again, and has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. The debuting Corey Duke and Keenan Moore and Kenny Starr. So we've got a lot of new folks in this match and some Scramble veterans, but this really seems to be the way in which new talent can get recognized in Flex Wrestling, and this time it's even more important to come out with your hand raised for one reason and one reason only, and that is this beautiful new Stampede Scramble Match Champion belt will be awarded. Look at that belt. That comes from the very, very capable belt makers at Belt.Inc. that are supporting Flex Wrestling. What do you think of this gorgeous title? It's something that we saw previously in the Headbangers Ball event and had to admire it. I had no idea it would be awarded in this match, but doesn't that raise all the stakes?
Oh, it definitely does. And I will say quickly that that belt is much heavier than it looks. I remember we had the chance to pick it up, and I want to say at least a good solid 10 pounds of gold. It might not look it, but that is definitely heavy like a bull. But I will say that is a beautiful, beautiful belt. I love the old school vibe to it as well. It looks like something you would see back in the early National Wrestling Alliance days. It definitely suits the vibe of Flex Wrestling because, as we all know, the Mud Creek Bison Ranch, if you haven't been there, now is your time. Saturday is your time because Flex is starting to branch out. We're not saying Flex is not going to go back there, but the next two shows, they're not going to be at the Mud Creek Bison Ranch. So, you never know. Most of these shows always go back to their homestead. But with that being said, when you're out there, snag yourself a bison burger, because I feel bad for talking about this because, Jack, I know your mouth is watering right now. I know they screwed you on it last time, but that's okay. We'll make sure we'll get you two. But I'm telling you, get yourself a bison burger. Come out to the Mud Creek Bison Ranch. It's going to be one hell of a phenomenal show. And come see one of those men get that beautiful strap placed around their waist this Saturday.
Yeah, and shout out to B Pro Title Belts for sponsoring the event and also creating that magnificent belt. I'll be watching that one as per usual with great interest. Next is an encounter that a lot of folks are talking about, a tag team match. The famous Good Brothers of Gallows and Carl Machine Gun Anderson will be facing the preeminent tag team. I think that's fair to say in the northeast of the high seeds with Cloudy and Captain Nick Ando. There's a lot on the line here because they've never wrestled before. They're looking to make a statement. That is the high seas, that they can take out Gallows and Anderson. And my goodness, there is some added heat with this match due to the fact that it was recently announced that Flex will be debuting tag team titles in the near future. And whoever comes out on top here has to be the favorite for that. What do you think of the high seas? Again, I know you've seen them live. Very impressive work. Cloudy interviewed him for this series, has extreme wrestling knowledge and insights, but the Good Brothers are the Good Brothers after all of the Bullet Club. And as they say, just too sweet. Who do you like for that one?
Well, I'm going to say this. First and foremost, I'm going to say the Good Brothers. But before people go, oh, of course, the DJ is going to choose the WWE veterans. But the high seas, as you said, Jack, it's the first time they're going together as a team. Most of the time, I got to say, first and foremost, congratulations to them. A lot of times these tag teams have to work their way up to get these opportunities. This is something they can put on their resume when they do branch off and go to different promotions. So with that being said, kudos to them. They definitely jumped up. They're not even walking up the ladder. They jumped up a few steps up the ladder. With that being said, you're a brand new team. You just came together. An amazing gimmick, I must say. The high seas, I love their ring attire. I love what they got going on. But when you're a new team, you there's some things you might not be. You don't know how your chemistry is going to be going into this match. Yes, you had a chance to work through it and talk and whatnot, but it's a brand new tag team versus Gallows and Anderson. They toured city to city, country to country, not even with the World Wrestling Entertainment, but also many other promotions as well. So you got veterans that know their chemistry, know what they're doing, know how they operate, versus a brand new team that just recently came together.
I gotta correct you on that. They've come together for the first time in Flex Wrestling, but they are definitely veterans of the New York State scene. They're facing Gallows and Anderson for the first time, though.
Oh, okay, my apologies. I thought you meant like they just came together. But with that being said,
for the first time.
Well, I'm still going to stick with my statement because I just, you know what I mean. I'm going to stick with it. Gallows and Anderson been doing their thing for a long time, so. Sorry, high seas, my apologies. Unfortunately, the Wrestling Encyclopedia doesn't know everything, right?
Well, I think at the end of the day, this is going to be a war. I was impressed with the high seas' first two performances at Flex Wrestling, and they looked pretty dominant in those. I'm notwithstanding, and no disrespect to the Good Brothers, but I've got to give the high C's with the Duke on that one. Next is a very interesting match that was put together by the Bald Eagle Colt Allen. There he is teaming with Wrecking Ball Legursky, who was also at Headbangers Ball. They're facing the young team of Primetime. They demanded a match at Frozen Fight Night, and Colt Allen decided to, accommodate them. But they're very high-flying cruiserweight style individuals. Colt Allen is a big man, of course, but they don't come much bigger than the Wrecking Ball. It's going to be a classic clash of styles, a big men, little men sort of encounter. It's up to Primetime to be able to overcome that size deficit with coordinated tag team moves. I know you are familiar with these individuals. What do you think of the team of Colt Allen and Wrecking Ball Legursky? Very patriotic. I think that's what brought them together, their love of the USA.
And I will say this first and foremost, Colt Allen, like you said, the Bald Eagle, phenomenal talent. I had the opportunity to speak with him, I believe, here on Cheap Heat Productions. If you want to check out that in-person interview, you can go back after this. Don't leave to go check it out now. But with that being said, Wrecking Ball National Wrestling Alliance, he currently is wrestling on Power. I think he has a match coming up this coming Tuesday. So honestly, two American Patriots coming together to take on and another amazing tag team. But again, like you said, Jack, there's a size deficit here. Wrecking Ball, look at those two individuals. Very talented, high-flying, Primetime, great tag team. But you also got Wrecking Ball, a big, I think close to 350 pounds, if not more.
If not more, yep.
He's built like a brick shithouse. And I say that respectfully. Look at that guy. I don't care who you are. If he was to run at you, you'd piss yourself. I don't care. So Colt Allen, you chose yourself a great tag team partner. And I think all of my money is on Colt Allen and Wrecking Ball to come this Saturday.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, the Powers of Pain against the Rockers. We'll have to see if that finesse and those coordinated tag team moves can, sneak a win out of these two guys. They can fly around the ring, but if they get caught, it's going to be pretty much game over. Speaking of high-flying cruiserweights, it's the Hope Dealer, Siren Rain, versus the debuting Trevor Terry. This individual was trained by Cody Rhodes at the Nightmare Factory. He has a lot of buzz, a lot of press about how talented an individual he is. You've seen Siren Rain wrestle live a couple of times. He's no joke either. This is going to be a matchup where, the finesse factor comes into play too. But I don't know if you caught the comments, but Siren Rain was very disrespectful towards Trevor Terry, saying he didn't care that he was trained at the Nightmare Factory. He didn't care that he was trained by Cody Rhodes. But with a pedigree like that, it's awful hard to count him out. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I will say Rain is a phenomenal talent. Like you said, I got a chance to see him wrestle multiple times. He has that Darby Allin type vibe to him, in my opinion. I really like what he does. But you also are going up against an individual that I will admit, I'm just hearing about this guy today. But he got trained by Cody Rhodes, two-time WWE champion. So, I don't know. He definitely got trained by the best of the best. So I can't say very much about Rain's opponent because I don't know very much about him. But I know Rain is one hell of a tough SOB. He could literally go through an absolute beating and still get back up. I don't know about this one, man. Like I said, if I don't know the other opponent, I can't really give my take. I'm just going to say whoever wins, but let the best man win. But I do know that Rain is going to put up one hell of an amazing fight come this Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's almost too close to call. Like you, I haven't scouted Trevor Terry, so I'm not going to make a prediction on that one. But should be very interesting. And then, of course, the main event that we've talked about, the champ, Sean Carr against Shale Connors. And I'm sure you're going to want to be ringside to capture all the action in that one. Are you a fan of ladder matches, generally speaking?
Well, I mean, I grew up on the Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys. I mean, like, you know, the original TLC triple threat tag team match. Iconic, man. You can't go wrong with it. But I do love myself a good ladder match. And when I remember when we originally wasn't planned to be at this show, and I was like, oh, man, when they announced the ladder, I was telling you, Jack, I was saying to myself, I know exactly where I'm going to put that camera. So I'm glad that, you know, Cheap Heat is going to be at Flex Wrestling this Saturday, because fans, I'm telling you, get ready. I already have the vision and I'm itching to execute what I have in my head. And I will say this, and I don't want to toot my own horn. When I have this going and I have an idea, 9 times out of 10, it's pretty freaking gnarly. So let's just say I have a perfect angle to capture Sean Carr pulling down that belt, and it's gonna look like you're right there. So if you can't be in New York, definitely make sure you check out the footage about a day or so after here on Cheap Heat's YouTube channel. But also, you can watch the event live as well on Flex Wrestling's Facebook page. But I will definitely say, if tickets are available, you are in the Savona, New York area, snag yourself a ticket. Don't wait for our footage. I mean, realistically, support the men and women that are on this card, support an amazing promotion, and hell, just support indie wrestling and stop giving WWE thousands of dollars for garbage. I don't care. I'll say it. Because if you go to a Flex Wrestling show, it is 10 times better than what you see on Netflix. Hands down. And I'll put my life on that one.
Well, those are very, very strong comments. I think the fans that are in New York State, Pennsylvania, Quebec, Ontario, all points in between, you're going to want to get your tickets at flexwrestling.com and not miss what is, as you've heard, an incredibly loaded show. And while you're at it, check out the other Flex Wrestling events that have been announced and get those tickets early, because seating is limited and they will be going. I'm going to give you an opportunity, DJ, for final thoughts on the event. Yes, the Bison Burger is definitely something that I'm going to snag this time, maybe two. Are you prepared for all the action and not only capturing it, but maybe getting some interviews with the talent that are there?
I'm definitely ready for it. I mean, as you already know, Jack, I mean, for the people that don't know, I do a lot of interviews myself on my own station. So I've been doing interviews for a long time. I'm always up for an interview. But I do know at these events, sometimes things get chaotic, and sometimes, you know, you might get a chance to interview someone. Next thing you know, stuff happens and whatnot. But I'm definitely looking forward to capturing some interviews. You can kind of catch an essence of what I did at Headbangers Ball by checking out the Colt Allen interview right here on the Cheap Heat YouTube. We actually created a playlist there, so you can catch all the Headbangers footage, including interviews and everything leading up to it right there on the playlist. But I'm definitely looking forward to Saturday, man. It's going to be an amazing event. I'm excited. You got Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, WWE Zone, formerly WWE Zone, sorry. You got HC Loke, ECW legend. You got a ladder match. You got a Stampede, brand new belt going to be introduced. I mean, you got to be there. And I feel like, you know, people might just be watching being like, oh my God, this DJ is just doing what a DJ does and, you know, trying to polish up our asses and try to sell some tickets. No, I will admit, I'm not getting nothing out of this except for the love of professional wrestling. I'm there because I love doing what I do. I love working alongside Jack. There's no money here. It's just the love for professional wrestling. So I'm telling you, from one fan to another, snag yourself some tickets, get it, or you most definitely will regret it. It's going down this Saturday, Mud Creek Bison Ranch. Come on out, you know, grab yourself a burger, grab yourself a beer at the bar, take your seat and watch some of the best damn wrestling to ever grace New York State. And now coming up, Pennsylvania as well. They're going out of state, man. And they might just be in your backyard someday as well. So get yourself some tickets, man. Trust me, you won't regret it.
So, fans, we'll leave it at that. I can't top that. I'm looking forward to seeing all the fans at the Mud Creek Bison Ranch this Saturday. Make sure you come out and please say hello. For DJ Immortal, I'm Jack Kilby, and we will see you at the matches. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Cheap Heat Productions. Don't forget to hit the notification button and you won't miss any of our upcoming interviews, recurring programs,